And before we get rolling, let me toss this pebble into your brain. One of the Dodge I am going to talk about today walked away from an accident that should have ended its life, and instead it embarrassed the tow truck sent to rescue it. I've saved that story for the end, because once you hear it, you'll never look at modern cars the same way again. Alright, slide in, shut the door, feel that weight. Imagine we're cruising down a half-lit road at 1 a.m. Windows cracked, cold air slicing in, dashboard lights glowing that soft, faded orange. That's the vibe here. No dealership fluff, no press release language. Just two gearheads talking like we've known each other since the first scraped knuckle. This channel's always been about that. Driving late, telling stories, and letting the engine fill the silence when words can't. So let's start with the Ramcharger, because honestly, it's the poster child for overbuilt, to spite nature. Last week, I found a dusty 88 sitting behind a barn. Paint so faded it looked like it had survived 3 desert wars. Paid less than what a mid-range smartphone costs. And the moment I fired it up, that big block coughed awake like it had unfinished business. The steering? Oh, it fights you. Not aggressively, just stubbornly. Like an old man refusing help with his groceries. But once you get it rolling past 50, this strange calm sets in. The weight of the body, the long wheelbase, the heavy frame, they all sync up and suddenly you're floating. It's like the truck's telling you, quit worrying. I've handled worse roads than this when you were still watching cartoons. And it's funny, people keep calling these things gas guzzlers. Yeah, sure, but nobody talks about how they feel. The way the road noise blends with the hum of the engine. The way the wind smacks that flat windshield and gets punched right back. It's a different kind of power, not horsepower, presence. What shocked me most though, was the price landscape. 10 years ago, nobody cared. $4 grand, maybe less. Now, the market's waking up. Folks are realizing these aren't just old trucks, they're artifacts. They're survivors from an era where engineers weren't afraid to say, let's make it thicker. Give it 2 more years and you'll see 5-figure Ramchargers popping up like forgotten legends waking from a nap. Then there's the Diplomat. God, the Diplomat is the most unassuming troublemaker you'll ever sit in. You look at it and think, retired detective car, something that spent its life idling outside donut shops. A box on wheels? But the moment you pull onto a highway, the whole personality changes. You press the throttle, it leans back like a lazy dog stretching, then suddenly it bites. Harder than you expect. And the ride, soft, like those old couches from your grandma's house. A suspension that doesn't absorb bumps, it erases them, like they offended it. Inside, there are no modern comforts, no screens, no digital anything, just analog gauges and buttons that feel like they were carved by a guy who didn't believe in fragile things. And yet, there's a peace in that simplicity. You're not supervising a computer, you're driving a car, a real car, one with opinions. And the stories these Dodges tell. Man, I remember taking a 90s Dodge wagon on this winding back road, the kind with trees leaning in like nosy neighbors. And every corner felt like a dare. You could feel the weight shift, this slow, confident, lean, not dangerous, not sloppy. Just a reminder that the car was built back when steel had dignity. There was this moment, I swear this happened, where the dash light flickered like the car was giving me a wink. And right then, the engine gave me this unexpected surge, like it suddenly remembered it used to be young. Every old Dodge does this. Little moments, every half minute that keep you awake, keep you connected, keep you guessing. That's what modern cars don't get. They're smooth, they're perfect, they're quiet, but they don't talk to you. Old Dodges, they never shut up in the best way. And look, people love to say, they're cheap, maybe for now. 3 to 6 grand gets you something that'll outlive your next 3 phones. But nostalgia is sneaky. Once enough people remember what real cars felt like, the prices jump. It happened with old Toyotas, old Jeeps, old Broncos. And it's happening quietly with these Dodges, alright? Now the story I promised. There's this guy I met outside a parts store, leaning on an early 80s Ramcharger that looked like a retired wrestling champion. I complimented the truck, he smiled, tapped the dent on the quarter panel, and said, that's from the accident. Accident, brother? This wasn't an accident. This was war. A delivery truck, a heavy one, blew a red light and hit him full force. Straight into the side of the Ramcharger, the kind of hit that tosses modern cars into the scrapyard without ceremony. But the Dodge, it spun, it skidded, it shook it off like rain. The tow truck arrived, looked at the Ramcharger, and the driver literally said, you called me for this. My truck has worse damage than yours. And the owner, he drove it home. Didn't even replace the bumper, just pulled it straight using a chain, a tree, and an attitude. So here's the thing I want you to think about tonight, in a world racing toward touchscreens, electric dreams, and cars that apologize when you take a corner too fast. Would you still choose a stubborn, heavy, steel-bodied Dodge that refuses to die? Because me? Give me the bunker on wheels. Give me the car that talks back. Give me the machine that was built for people, not algorithms. What about you?